it began in a way that was okay. So we began with a song. Myself and Jennifer Thomas and Gabrielle Clark sang I Am My Mother's Savage Daughter. And it was very interesting because a nice hush fell over this crowd. But really, as soon as the speeches began, the crowd started to move in on us. And by the time Julie was speaking, the crowd had pressed us against the wall. We had linked arms to keep them at bay. One man literally rolled on the ground and wormed his way between our legs in order to infiltrate our group. This, of course, was very disturbing to see. It was scary in the practice of it. We held our ground for the entire time. But what was the most concerning, of course, is that the police had no real response. So anyone who has seen my live stream or other women's live stream of this, you can see that the police are standing off across the street and not responding. I know multiple people called 911 during the event, which is our emergency line here in the United States. They were told when they called 911 that the police were on site. Of course, they were on site, but not doing anything. So, and the whole time, the crowd was simply screaming at us, "No hate here." So it was a real cognitive dissonance, because as they were screaming, "No hate here," they were moving in on our group. They were trying to steal things out of our hands, our equipment. They were trying to break our phones. They were stealing our suffragette flags. They tore one woman's shoe off. They knocked elderly women to the ground. They were, doing real violence as they screamed this. It had very much the feel of a modern day witch hunt, where when the town becomes a mob circling the wise women elders, because these were, again, this was very much a group of majority elderly women that this was happening to. When I had interacted with the mayor before this event, I was expressing to the mayor my concerns about what this transgender proclamation would mean. The mayor had responded to me with zippity boop. So this was the mayor's response to the legitimate concerns of women who want our single-sex spaces. And for me, the entire press conference was really about sexism. That was the topic of my speech. And that was where I wanted women to focus their speeches as well, because this is about our sex-based rights. This is about safeguarding. This is about women and girls having spaces where we can be naked and vulnerable and safe. And while the town is saying they do not discriminate against age and race and religion and gender identity, this is a sex-based discrimination. This is an issue of sexism. And I wanted to make clear in our speeches that sexism is an issue that is falling out of social and political consciousness. The other disturbing thing, so this was the point that I wanted to make in the press conference. It's also the point that I wanted to make when addressing city council. And this was the other disturbing thing to see, is that we were not allowed our due process. We were not allowed inside the building to share our feedback at city council, because the other side had lined up at like 2 or 3 o'clock around the corner. We had spoken to the police officers to see, were they going to make sure we had equal access to get inside the building? We were told simply, no, it's a first come, first serve situation, and fire codes only allow a certain amount of people. So we were not given our due process to get inside the building. The event was very disturbing. The press conference was very disturbing. Anyone who saw the event, it was very disturbing. But an interesting thing has come because of it, um, in a way, because they told on themselves with their behavior, which is really what they did. You know, they showed themselves as villainous in their behavior towards us.